So in this video we're going to go through the exam past paper questions on compound interest. Okay, and these kind of worksheets where you can find a collection of topic specific past paper questions. You can get that one at the National 5 Maths website and you would just look for applications. Okay, so first question, Sam buys a rare stamp for his stamp collection at an auction. He buys the stamp for £920. The stamp increased in value by 7% in each of the first 2 years and then decreased in value by 4% in the third year. Calculate the value of the stamp after 3 years and we have to give our answer to 3 significant figures. And this one here is a paper 2, so that means it's calculator. Okay, so original price was £920. We've actually got 2 different percentages and 2 different things happening. It increases at one stage for 2 years and then decreases for another 1 year. Okay, so let's deal with that in stages then. So step number 1, so let's just kind of say that's for the first 2 years. So in the first 2 years it's increasing by 7% for 2 years. So what we can do for that one is use a kind of quick method for compound interest, and what that is working out a multiplier using the percentage, using the years as the power and then multiplying by the original amount. So first things first, let's find what the multiplier would be. So the increase was 7%. It's increasing by 7%. What is 7% as a decimal? So let's just turn that into a decimal just now. 7% is 0.07. Remember, we just divide by 100. Now, I am increasing by 7%. So think about it. You always start with 100%, which is just 1. Okay, and if you increase, we're adding that on. So the multiplier is going to be 1 plus 0.07. So it's going to be 1.07. Okay, and that's for the first 2 years. So I know that I'm going to square that. I'm going to FB2. So the new value, so after 2 years, okay, so the value after 2 years is going to be 1.07 squared times the value we started with, which was 920. Calculator, do the sum. 1.07 squared equals, if you've got a scientific calculator you should have the square button on it. If not, you would do 1.07 times 1.07 again, get an answer, and then times by 920. So I'm getting, for this first bit, 1053.308. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep that answer. I'm not going to round it just now because if you remember it says to round at the end. So we might as well just keep it like that. If you rounded it, what you would normally do is round it to 2 decimal places because it's money. But I'm just going to keep it the same just now. Okay, so for the third year, and I'll go back up, we were told that it decreases by 4% for a year, for a single year. Okay, so what's 4% as a decimal? It's 0.04. Now if I'm decreasing, remember you always start with 100%, which is 1. And if I'm decreasing, it's going to be taken away. So the multiplier for this one is going to be 1 take away 0.04. So it's going to be 0.96. This is only for 1 year, so I don't have to worry about a power, right? I'm not doing it over multiple years. So the value now, I'm going to need to take, oops, I'll just do it over here. I'm going to need to take this multiplier and times it by the amount at the start of the third year, and that's going to be this value here that we got. So I'm going to be timesing by 1053.308. See if I can fit that in. Yep. Get the calculator out. 0.96 times 1053.308. I get 1011, so 1011.175, and that just goes on. Well, we're told in the question to give the answer to 3 significant figures, so let's go and do that just now. That's significant, that's significant, that's significant, so our third significant figure is going to be in here. Okay, so one's our significant figure. There's a 1 next to it, so it's just going to stay the same. So the answer to one significant figure is going to be 1010. Okay, and that's it rounded to one significant figure. Not one significant figure, sorry, 3 significant figures. Okay, so that was the 3 significant figures. We counted along 3. Value next to it was 1, so it just stays the same. So that's the value for that one to 3 significant figures. Okay, next question. Jack bought a car 3 years ago costing £1,400. The car has decreased in value by 13% each year. It's decreased in value. Calculate the current value of the car. Give your answer to 2 significant figures. So a lot of the time these ones expect you to do rounding. This one is also calculator, paper 2. So the original value was 14,000. Okay, so that was the original. Okay, and it's decreased over 3 years by 13% every year. So part A, let's work out the multiplier. We've got a calculator question. We've got a constant percentage for a number of years. So it's this kind of method that we're going to use. If it was non-calculator, maybe it'd be something slightly different. Okay, so what's 13% as a decimal? Remember, you just divide by 100, so it's 0.13. We always start with 1 or 100%. And if it's decreasing, we're going to take away. So we're going to take away 0.13, and then we're going to be left with 0.87. And don't worry, just do that in the calculator if you need to double check if that's correct. No issue with that. Might as well use the calculator if you've got it to check you don't get anything wrong. Okay, so that's the multiplier, and it was for a period of 3 years with an original price of 1,400. So let's take the new value, or work out the new value, which is going to be that multiplier to the power of 3 times the initial value, which is 1400. Get the calculator. 0.87 power of 3 times 1400, and that is 921.9 ... and just keep going, because the question asked us to round to 2 significant figures. So that's significant, so this is where I'm kind of going to draw the line. Look at the value next, it's a 1, so it's just going to be 920 to 2 significant figures. So that's part A. Part B, Jack sells his car for £950. Calculate his loss as a percentage of the original price. So this is your percentage loss type question. So you need 2 things. You basically need to work out what the loss actually was, and you then use that in the original to get the percentage. So this is what he sold it for, and it's as a percentage of the original price. Now that's not this price given here in A, that's this original price. That's what the price of the car actually was when he bought it. So what's the loss? Well, to get the loss, you're just going to do a subtract. So what's the difference between what he got it for and what he sold it for? That is just going to be the loss. and that's £450. And then, to work out percentage loss, what you do is you take the loss over the original and then times it by 100 to get it into a percentage. So it was 450 over 1,400, and then I'm timesing that by 100. So calculate out 450 over 1,400, times it by 100, and I'm getting 32.14 ... and I'm just going to round that to one decimal place, 32.1% loss. Let's go back, double check that didn't ask to round. I don't think it did. Yep. So that's our percentage, and just round it to something that's reasonable. Okay, and that was to one decimal place that I rounded that to. Right, next question. Erin bought a yacht costing £780,000 in February 2013. For the next 3 years, the value of the yacht decreased by 4.1%, so it's a decrease in 1. Calculate the value of the yacht in February 2016, and the answer is to be given to 3 significant figures. This one is a calculator one as well. So I've got a starting value, I've got a percentage that's constant, and it's decreasing for 3 years. So it's a rather kind of quick method for compound interest. So let's first work out what the multiplier is going to be. What is that percentage as a decimal? Divide by 100, 0.041. Okay, I always start with 100% or 1, and if it's decreasing, it's going to be taken away. So I'm now taking that away. Don't be trying to use the calculator for that. Might as well, to make sure that you don't make a mistake with something like that when you've got a calculator available to use. So when you do that, you get 0.959. So that's our multiplier. How do I find a new value? Well, I take that multiplier, raise it to the power of the number of years, and it was 3 years, and times it by the original value, which was 780,000. Grab the calculator. So 0.959 to the power of 3 times 780, 1, 2, 3. Zeros, I'm getting for that one 687939.78 and so on. Okay, you can just carry on. We are told to round it to 3 significant figures, so let's do that. This is significant, that's significant, this is significant, so that's 3. I'm drawing the line here. It's a 9, so it's going to round this 7 up to an 8. So it's going to be 6, 8, that 7 becomes an 8, and then the rest is going to be zeros. So that there is that rounded to 3 significant figures. Okay, next question, and it's the last one in this wee worksheet. So we've got a house that's bought in May 2009 for £130,000. In the first 2 years, the value of the house increases by 5% per annum. That just means per year. And then for the next 3 years, it decreases by 2%. What is the value of the house in May 2014? Alright, so this is a paper 2 one, and this is actually from the old life skills type paper. So we've gone from 2009, 2 years, which is obviously 2011, and then 3 years is 2014. So that is what we're doing. We're just doing these 2 steps to get to 2014, and we're to give our answer to the nearest £1,000. Okay, so this is very similar to the first one. We've got 2 steps. It's increasing and then it's decreasing. So let's do the first 2 years where it is increasing. So let's do the first 2 years step. Okay, so it's increasing by a constant amount for 2 years. So let's work out what the multiplier is and then kind of use our quick method for compound interest. What is 5% as a decimal? That's 0.05 divided by 100. It's increasing in these first ones. So we start with 1 and then we add on 0.05. You could start with 100% and add on 5%, then change it to decimal. It makes no difference. So we're going to have 1.05. Then what we're going to do is, to work out what the value is, we take that multiplier, we raise it to the power of the number of years that what we've got that for. Oops. Which was 2, and then we times it by the original, which is 130,000. So it's to the power of 2, and it's times 130,000. Grab the calculator. 1.05 to the power of 2 times 130,123. Okay, so I am getting, for this one, it's actually an exact value, no decimals, is 143,325, so £143,325. And that's after the first 2 years. Okay, let's do it then for the next 3 years. Yep. And then it's for 3 years. Okay, let's work out what the multiplier has to be. Well, it's 2%. What's 2% as a decimal? It's 0.02. This one will be decreasing, so you start at 1 and take that off. So it's just going to be 0.98. Right, so to get what the value is going to be, we take our multiplier, 0.98, to the power of how many years? It was 3, and we times it by the amount we were starting with at that point. It's not the original amount, it's now this amount, because we've had 2 years, that was the end value, and now it started decreasing from that. So we're taking this value up here. Okay, so 143,325. Get the calculator, 0.98 cubed times 143,325. I'm getting for this one 134,896.34 and so on. We need to round this to the nearest £1,000, so let's find that. That's units, that's obviously tens, hundreds, there's our thousands there, so I'm rounding to that number 4 there. Number beside it's an 8, so it means I round up, so the value for that one is going to be 135,000, so £135,000. Okay, to do the next